Close to 40. We're on. We're live.
Hi.
Hello, episode 39, most likely.
We're almost a little like color coordinating today.
We are. Look at that.
Like
my blue socks.
The base of your shirt feels like it's going with my sweater.
I have something I want to tell you. You look healthy today.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I said it to you 2 minutes ago. And
what?
I
don't know what you're talking about.
Myself.
We are not scripted.
You look healthy though. You're like kind of glowing a little bit.
Wow.
Seriously. Are you pregnant?
Well, I just got some testosterone in my butt. Okay. So could be that.
That's it.
Guys, more pellets.
More pellets.
I'm going to tell you what. And for like those who've never heard my pellet story, it's like they insert it into your butt cheek. I don't want people to think I'm like getting, I don't know, other things done. Because one time we were like butt stuff, and I just feel like that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, going in the cheek.
Yeah, it's going in the
upper cheek.
So today, the first time I was caught off guard.
Right.
I was not prepared for the procedure. And then today I actually postponed it. I had it set for a day before 2 weekends ago or something. And we were going out of town. I said, I really don't want to be sore and uncomfortable sitting in the car for hours. And so I postponed it till today. And I was kind of just dreading it. But I will say, I feel like since I've been doing this hormone therapy, I've been feeling a lot better. I'm taking maybe my skin's glowing because I'm taking vitamins. Yeah. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to exercise more. So I was like, I got to the point where I was like, I'm actually really excited to see if I continue with this, if I continue to feel, because it started to drop a little bit.
Yeah.
And what's funny with my lab work, so the first time my testosterone level was like in the 30s or 40s. And then after I'd been on it for a couple of weeks, it was up to 300.
Wow.
And then my most recent visit had dropped down to 50. Okay. And so he was like, yeah, we don't want to get lower.
Yeah.
So the first time is a little traumatic because I wasn't prepared. Remember, I was like sitting there, cheeks out, and they made me sign all this paperwork. I felt very vulnerable. Well, today I'm on my side, cheeks out again, as one does. And the doctor comes in and brings a friend and doesn't introduce them, and eventually goes, oh, by the way, this is Dr. Rachel or whoever. She's looking at your butt. He's like the one that's staring at your butt right now. So like, cool. Nice to meet you, Rachel. And then at one point I said, by the way, the last time I did this, I was pretty sore for a couple of days. Like, what do you guys recommend? He's like, you can do Tylenol, but I've never needed to do Tylenol. Wanda's never needed to do Tylenol. I was like, okay, well, I'm glad you guys are so tough and cool. But it hurt me. Yeah. And his wife is also the nurse. And she was like, honestly, it depends on what side. She's like, for me, if it's on the left side, it's not as bad. If it's on the right side, it's tend to be sore. Well, I got the left today and I don't feel nearly as bad.
Wow. Look at that. So you're more of a left cheek kind of gal.
I guess if you want to classify me, I'll go that way. And
you're either a left cheek or a right cheek.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And the thing for me, there's always like a physical fear, and there's like a psychological like anxiety around this appointment because I'm like, every time I've walked away, just a little bit scarred, like a little bit like that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, totally.
So
I don't like people. Yeah, I don't like that.
Like imagine, like what would you do? You're like sitting there on your side, and somebody walks in, and now they brought a friend.
Yeah,
they haven't introduced them.
I don't know what I'd do. That's like if you're like getting your physical done as a teenager, and there's like the female nurse comes in with the doctor. Like, you don't
I know.
Want that.
I actually tell, like, for my girls, if they bring in like a male intern, I tell them I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
And like, sorry, not for today.
Yeah.
Save it for somebody else. Yeah. But anyways, so that's my morning.
Feeling good.
How about you? You've been busy.
It's been a busy morning. Yeah. So I got back late last night from Denver.
Yeah.
And just right back at it this morning. So it's gonna be a very busy week.
Should we just go into Denver since it was so fresh?
Sure. Yeah. So you said you've been in Denver before?
I have. Yep. My aunt lives there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. My first time.
Okay.
I thought it would be cool.
Was it just because it sounded cool? You went.
So my friend Chad, Chad,
yep.
Not Chad Erskine, Chad.
Correct. Yep.
His girlfriend is a flight attendant, Cecily.
Yep.
So he gets her flight benefits, so he can fly for free on standby, pretty much anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And he can, if he's flying, he can bring a friend for free as well.
Oh my gosh.
So he brought me, we've been talking for the last year about going on a trip together because we could get a free flight.
Yeah.
And Denver was one of the top places on our list. So.
Did you have to kind of wait to see? Like, was it like, okay, this weekend there's actual availability, so let's go?
It's a little bit of a science.
Yeah.
So what he said is that they typically will do this with cities that have more flights going out every day.
Okay.
Like if it's somewhere where there's like only 1 or 2 flights a day, the likelihood that they'll actually get on a standby ticket is pretty low.
Okay.
But if there's a lot of flights like Denver or LA or all the places that Seattle has a lot of flights to, it's a lot easier. And they have an app so they can like look to see how many seats are sold, how many seats are available, where they're at on the standby list, that kind of stuff. So on the way there was not an issue. We were like sweating a little bit. I was at the airport. I got there super early. We were texting, and he's like, there's a 50-50 chance we get on this flight. If we didn't, the next flight was like 2 hours later. So it would have been fine. Not ideal, but fine. And we got on. There was no problem. Cool. No problem in that flight. On the way home last night, we were trying to catch, so there was like a 1 p.m. flight, a 3 p.m. flight, and like a 7 p.m. flight. We wanted to take the 3 p.m. originally, just because that was like the best time frame. But it was looking pretty full. And then the 7 p.m. was also looking pretty full. So okay, we have to take the 1 p.m. So we got there for the 1 p.m. flight, and we were like running through the airport, like running late, and didn't make the flight.
Oh no.
We were like if there's a group of 3, and if they were not okay with splitting their group up, like 2 of them got on the flight and the third one didn't, then we would have gotten on the flight. But because they were okay splitting up, we didn't get on the flight.
Selfish.
Yes,
they're
very selfish. I almost went up there as like, you shouldn't split up. Like, how rude of you to split up your group. Are you kidding me? I was gonna say something, but so we basically, we didn't make the 1 p.m. flight.
Okay, so then you're like 3
p.m. flight wasn't looking good though. And then the 7 p.m. flight also wasn't looking good. And Chad's like, if we don't make the 3 p.m., then I'm going to try to make we'll probably, if we don't make the 3 p.m., we shouldn't bank on making the 7 p.m., which is the last flight of the day, because then we could maybe like get stuck in Denver another night.
No.
So then he's like, if we don't make the 3 p.m., then we'll take the 5 p.m., which has a layover in Portland. And then we'll get home after 10 p.m. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I ended up paying for a flight. I paid for the 3 p.m. flight because he didn't think we'd be able to get on standby. And then he did get on standby. So I paid for a flight that I didn't have to pay for. I was very annoyed. Very annoyed.
But you didn't pay for a flight out.
Correct. Yeah. So I only paid for one of the flights. Just a waste of like $170, you know. So, but lesson learned.
Man,
if you're gonna do the standby life, you definitely have to be flexible.
100%. I was gonna say that's just like living on the edge.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt very like, very on the edge.
Yeah. Okay.
Which it was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
Grateful for the free flight there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Cecily.
Highlights of the trip.
Okay, I talked for like 5 minutes about the whole flight situation, didn't I? Okay, so have we not talked in 2 weeks? I don't think we have.
Because I have Labor Day stuff to tell you.
Okay, sweet. Okay, I'm gonna do a synopsis of Denver.
I love it.
So we get there Thursday night. Don't really do much Thursday night.
Yeah.
Friday, we spend the whole day exploring Denver itself, the city. So we walked we did like a 10-mile walk.
Had Chad been there before?
He had not. He had been there, but not for for work. I think. He had been there.
So this is like you two for the first time exploring. Okay,
totally. Cool. So we walked around literally like 10 miles all around downtown and the different neighborhoods. Lovely city.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I could live there so easily.
Yeah.
Felt very clean. Great restaurants. Everything's pretty close to each other, which is nice. The parks were like immaculate. There's all these huge parks all over the city.
Right.
With perfectly green mowed grass and like rivers and lakes and just very
waterfalls that you're used to.
I don't see any waterfalls, but just beautiful parks. I'm a big outdoorsy guy. If you don't know that,
right? Yeah,
love a park.
It's been a long time since I've been there.
Yes.
So but I can only have fun memories. Like I only remember it being nice.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have ties here in Washington, like I think I could. I would move to Denver.
That says something because you're a traveler. You've been places. Yeah. So
I like that it's like central of the country.
Yeah.
What you don't get in like what we have here in Washington that's so amazing is just we're like surrounded by water with like the Puget Sound and like all the Lake Washington.
That's what I was going to ask. Like being landlocked, would that bother you think?
I don't think so there because there is the river that runs through. So it feels like you have that water source.
Okay.
And then you're close to the mountains. You have that outdoorsy vibe.
Yeah.
So
people from Colorado, like I feel like you would fit in there.
Thank you.
Like they are.
I was about to say everybody there was very attractive, so I appreciate that you said that.
That's true.
It was crazy.
That and it's like they're healthy. Yeah. There's activity, priority.
I love anywhere where people are like active, where you see people.
I thought you were gonna say I like anywhere where people are attractive.
That too, active and attractive. They a lot of times go hand in hand.
There it is.
Yeah, people are running and biking and taking their dog on a walk.
Hiking.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
So
skiing, just naming activities.
Just bouldering. You've been bouldering?
Yeah. You think I've been? Like, no, you don't have to ask
that. Yeah, so that was Friday, just pretty much exploring Denver. Okay. And then what did we do that night? I think we went out to a nice dinner and just the neighborhood we were in is called Lower Highland, and just really good restaurants. Yeah. Like we went to this like food hall bar thing. So it was like this 2-story building with 7 different restaurants and like 2 bars, an outdoor rooftop deck overlooking the city. It was just very cool.
I love places like that.
Very cool.
There's a place like that in Santa Barbara. I always feel like that would do so well here in Tacoma.
I think so too. Yeah.
I'm like, why? When we get so much rain, would we not create really cool indoor options for food and things? Yeah.
We thought about doing that for Edison.
That would have been
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, really liked it. Okay. We went to a really cool, like swanky, like distillery that night too, and that was super fun. That was Friday. Saturday was a very busy day.
Yeah.
Woke up at like 5:30 in the morning and drove to the Rockies.
This was your plan. You guys were like, you knew this was what you're gonna do.
Well, not really. So we didn't realize until the night before that the Rocky Mountain National Park has like a reservation system.
Oh.
So in order to get into the park, you need a reservation if you arrive after 9 a.m.
Okay.
So we basically left at 5:30. It was like a 2-hour drive, so that 2.5, so that we could arrive before 9 a.m. get into the park. So yeah, got into the park around 8:30. Beautiful park. Have you been to the Rockies when you were there? Okay. Have you been to Glacier National Park? Have you been to a park? Have you been outside?
I can't wait to tell you about Labor Day because I was outside camping.
Nice.
No, I'm trying to remember where I went.
Glacier's in Montana.
No. Okay. Then no.
Have you been like Yellowstone?
I've been to Yellowstone. I've been to like Yosemite. Cool. I've been to those ones. There was, I mean, maybe it was the Rockies. So I also knew somebody in Colorado Springs and their family were like rangers. And so we went to something.
Okay. If it was in Colorado Springs, that's not the Rockies. There's another, I think Garden of the Gods is what's in.
It's really embarrassing that you were like geography testing me right now.
I love geography. That's like my favorite trivia. My favorite trivia category. That's his thing. Yeah.
It's literally, if it's trivia and it's geography, we're like, go ahead, take it away.
That's a 3 thing, I guess. Okay, so basically got to the Rockies. Yeah. The reason I ask about Glacier is there's this in Glacier National Park, there's something called the Road to the Sun.
Okay.
Which is just this like beautiful road up this mountain, the panoramic, beautiful views. Rockies had something very similar. Okay. So just like the drive alone was just incredible.
Yeah.
Like you're just like everywhere you look feels larger than life. There's just canyons and it's beautiful.
And you're driving through. You're not hiking on.
We're driving.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're driving through. We drove for a while, probably for like 45 minutes, just through the park.
Yeah.
To a hike. So we got there were, because of the whole reservation system, the main hikes that we wanted to do, we couldn't do because we would have had to get there before 5 a.m. that morning. So any PSA for anybody going to the Rockies, make sure you look at the timed entry kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a little bit annoying, but we still had a great time.
Yeah.
So found a hike along a river kind of through to something called Little Yellowstone, which is this big like canyon thing.
Cool.
Very cool. And ended up being like a 10-mile hike. So we walked 10 miles Friday, did a 10-mile hike on Saturday.
Wow.
And then wrapped up in the Rockies, drove to Boulder, which is like a college town, to kind of see what that was like. And then drove back to Denver. A lot of driving. And then that night we had a Kygo concert.
What is that?
You don't know who Kygo is?
No.
Nobody knows who Kygo is.
I know.
I brought it up at our meeting this morning with like.
What would I know them from?
Okay, so Kygo, let me play you some of their music.
Okay.
He's amazing.
What kind of style?
Electronic music.
Okay.
You know, it's like Firestone. Hearts Alive.
I knew you were going to start saying. Sorry, give us a little bit more.
I know probably every single one of Kygo's songs.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it's a cult. Maybe it was like a UW thing that we all know Kygo. Okay. Well, clearly not, because there were 20,000 people at the concert. Like it was a big concert.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you some of his music.
Okay.
It's really, really good. Cool. It's kind of like electronic music meets like tropical kind of vibes. Very, very good. Very fun to listen to.
Yeah.
We were not planning on going to this concert.
Okay.
We got an Instagram ad on Friday.
Is that funny?
Which was
picked up where you were.
Yeah, picked up where we were, and we're like, Kygo's probably, if you were to ask both of us what our like combined favorite artist would be, it would definitely be Kygo.
What are the odds?
Yeah. I've been to Kygo. I've seen Kygo before, but Chad's always wanted to.
Yeah.
Like that morning, Friday morning, while walking through Denver, he's like, "Oh, we should go to a Kygo party or Kygo concert in Vegas."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And
or
then
should we go tonight?
Or should we go literally tomorrow night in Denver?
So fun.
The opening night of Kygo's global tour was that night. So we got to see the very first show. Amazing. It was.
So before you booked this trip, did you have these plans? I mean, obviously not the concert, but were you like, we're going to go on this hike? We're going to or were you guys like, let's get there? Loose.
I think we knew we wanted to explore Denver. We knew we wanted to do the Rockies. That was kind of the two main things. Yeah. Kygo was not on our radar at all. It was very serendipitous.
So fun.
And it was like such a fun concert.
Yeah.
Just like dancing the whole time. Yeah. Very, very, very fun.
I love that.
It made me really want to go see more live music.
We love concerts.
Yeah. I don't go to enough. I don't know the last concert. Oh, I've been to one a couple months ago, but yeah, I want to start prioritizing going. I'm bummed that I missed Taylor Swift when she was in town. I wish I would have gone to that.
It's also hard because a lot of concerts are so expensive.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to take my family, it's like $2,000.
Yeah, that was the thing with this one. I mean, if this had been hundreds of dollars, we maybe would not have gone.
Yeah.
The cheapest tickets were $20. Oh, we're like, let's splurge for a $60 ticket. Yeah. And we had amazing seats in the 8th row, right by the stage. Very, very fun.
That's so cool.
So that was Saturday. It was literally 10-mile hike, 5 hours of driving, 5:30 wake up, concert. It was a long, very fun day.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was great. Sunday woke up very tired.
Yeah.
And
understandably.
We had not been to the Red Rocks Amphitheater.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
That was the last thing on our list that we really wanted to do. And we were going to go Friday, but there was a concert, so we couldn't go.
Okay.
So we went Sunday morning and just walked around. And you said you have been there?
Yeah.
Did you go for a concert or just to walk around?
No, so one really cool trip I did right after college, I went on a cross-country road trip for 3 weeks with 2 of my college roommates. And we went all over the country and based it on where we knew people. So my aunt in Colorado or other cities where we just thought would be cool to go. So during that stop in Colorado, that was where we went. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it was a music venue, but it's open to the public when there's not a concert. So there were literally workout classes happening.
Oh, wow.
There were people running up the stairs.
Yeah.
There was a drumline kind of band there that was just
the acoustics
playing.
Yeah, that's
it was
cool.
There. It's great energy there.
Yeah.
So we did that in the morning and then went back to the Airbnb, packed up.
Oh, so you stayed at Airbnb?
Yes.
Fun.
Yep. Went to the airport and then got back last night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was a whirlwind.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Great
what
weekend.
A fun trip. You're doing no snooze September.
I am.
Did you allow yourself to snooze in college? I mean, you didn't. You got up at 5:30 a.m.
I snoozed that morning.
Sunday.
Wait, no. Let's see. No, Saturday morning. The alarm was set 5:30. I think I woke up at 5:45. So I did snooze once.
Man, you are being very honest.
I am. I've failed twice. There's been 2 days so far that I've snoozed.
Well, what
out
day
of 9.
What are we? September 9th?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad.
2 out of 9.
Yeah.
I'm donating $100 for each day that I snooze.
What?
So
that's
about
awesome.
$200.
Okay. Do you have a place you're giving
at
to?
the end of the month? I'm going to tally up how many days, and then I'm going to have people vote for which
cool.
charity.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the weekend. It was. I want to spend a month in Colorado.
Yeah.
I loved it so much.
That's awesome.
There's so many restaurants I want to go to.
Yeah.
So much I want to do there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
How was your weekend?
This last weekend was good. It felt semi busy. So Friday night I wore my cheer coach hat and I was assistant to the regional manager. We had choreography for our competition routine. So we had these 2 I want to be professional coaches come in and teach our girls some choreography for our comp routine that's coming up in a couple months. So we were there from 3 till almost 8 o'clock at night, learning stuff. And then Saturday continued with the cheer stuff and had an afternoon pool party at not my house, but at another one of the cheerleaders' houses. So it was heavy on the cheer stuff. And then yesterday I was at church, but I was working in a little nursery. And then I had a board meeting. I'm now a member of the school board.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was, it's a big deal. It's funny. I was I had this moment yesterday. I was kind of sharing a chat, just laughing at myself. I had this moment sitting in the board meeting where I was like, when did I become an adult? I was you're young and free and doing whatever you want. And then all of a sudden you're in a board meeting for your children's school. Right. And you're I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
this is nuts. Like and it wasn't like I was telling you, I was like, I didn't feel like an imposter. I feel like, I'm excited to be a part of this. I'm really looking forward to it actually. But it just hit me like, I am an adult.
Yeah.
I have a seat here.
You're an adult.
Yeah. So I don't know if you ever have those moments where you're just like, this is nuts. But,
totally. So is it like a monthly board meeting?
Yes. It's
on a Sunday evening?
No, this was just an orientation for new members. So the school is connected to a church. And so there's multiple boards. There's like church board, school board, foundation board, there's also a senior center building that's near our campus. So there's a board for them. So it's a large thing. So yesterday was just for new members, and then they had a lot of other members from different boards just there to have input and stuff.
How many people are on the board?
On the school board? I actually don't know. I'll find out. I'll find out my first meeting. But the meetings are once a month, and then there's like different events and things that they want you at as well.
Yeah.
And then I think what they might do is committees, which I'm not sure how that plays into stuff. But it's a commitment for 3 years. So I'm in it for a little bit. So anyways, there was that. And then after that.
That's cool though to have, because the board votes on policies and stuff at the school. So to have a say over your girls' school that they go to is cool.
Yeah. 100%. And then, I'm like really looking forward to it. And it's interesting to be a part of a school that I didn't go to.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm kind of excited to bring a little bit of outside perspective into the school.
Yeah.
After that, I went
networking too.
There. It's like anybody. No. I showed a house yesterday on my street. That was kind of fun.
Oh, cool.
I had somebody at church. I was working in the nursery with her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at this one house. It's on South Mountain View." I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's literally down the street from me." I was like, "I will just go check it out for you," because she's looking to buy something where her in-laws can move in with them. I was like, "I'll just walk down and check it out and send you videos." And I ended up just making an appointment where she could come too. So we went and did that, and it's just fun to be like, seeing more houses in my neighborhood.
That's cool.
I literally walked there.
Was she interested?
Yeah.
Really?
So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to move forward or not, but they really liked it. So.
That happened to me recently. I helped a buyer in Renton, and one of the houses she looked at and offered on was like a stone's throw away from my house. So close. That one didn't end up working out. But it's like if she buys this house, it's like great, but then is there an expectation?
Oh, and then your neighbors.
We're literally. I'm like, if you need some milk, let me know. Come on over.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So that, and then last night was just kind of a relax with the family and obviously sauna. And I was a little bit disappointed. I do have a sauna. Did you know? I did like a long time in the sauna. Felt like I like pushed myself.
Okay.
And then I always hope that it impacts my sleep, and I didn't get good sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
something keeping you up?
I don't know. My brain, it's my brain.
Yeah.
There's some things with my brain. My brain just likes to wake up and be like, you should be worried about this.
Do you normally sleep well?
I had been sleeping really well until this week. Something about this week. I think what happens is like, I'll be fine. And then all of a sudden one night I wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and I don't go back to sleep for a good while. And then it's like the next night my body does the same thing. I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about it. It just is like, no, we do this now. We wake up at 3 and we just stay awake for a bit.
Oh man.
So
I wake up every night once.
Really?
To pee every night.
Every single night.
Pretty much every single night.
And are you like awake?
I'm not. I'm half asleep. Right back to sleep. Yeah. And I love it. I actually really enjoy waking up, especially if I wake up and it's like I say I went to bed at 9. It's only like 11 or 12. I'm like, yes, I still have 5 hours of sleep.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's the best.
That's so funny that you love it.
I love it.
Like, this is great.
Actually, I do. Yeah. However, if I wake up and it's like at 4:50 and my alarm is going to go off at 5, I'm pissed. That's like the worst feeling.
Yeah. Is that what we're trying for? 5 a.m.?
For most days. I'm trying for 7 hours minimum sleep. Yeah. So it really just depends on what time I go to bed. So most weeknights, I'm in bed between 9 and 10.
Okay.
So if I'm asleep by 10, wake up at 5, like that's 7 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was kind of the gist of my last weekend. Nothing crazy.
How about Labor Day?
So Labor Day, we went down to Pacific City, which we had been to for Memorial Day. It was funny.
Oh, it was like you did the bookends.
Exactly.
Bookends of summer.
Bookends of summer.
Is that a thing? I think, did I just make that up?
Wait, what?
Bookends of summer?
Memorial Day and Labor Day?
Yeah. I think is that something people call it?
Oh, I don't know if they call it Bookends of Summer.
Yeah.
But
if not, they should. I'm gonna
guys,
trademark that.
This is Listen,
I'm gonna
if
Google.
There's one thing we take away from this
Bookends of Summer.
Bookends
that
of
might
Summer.
be that might be
That's
the title.
Yep. There it is.
Trademarked.
Episode 39. So this time, Pacific City, we're on a camping site. We had a cabin, so I will clarify. It was a cabin. It had like a room that had 2 bunk bed frames.
Okay.
And then like another kind of living space that had a futon.
Okay.
Had a TV, had a mini fridge.
Oh, wow. Glamping, if you will.
It did not have a bathroom.
Okay.
And I learned that's important to me.
Not even a compost toilet?
Nope. There was a bathroom within walking distance. So, but I just learned I like to have a bathroom in the space that I'm sleeping.
I 100% do too, because I wake up in the middle of the night to pee.
Did you guys grow up? Yeah.
Like, I need it.
Did you guys grow up camping? Do you camp?
Yeah. I don't as much anymore.
Yeah.
We used to go
like tent camping or what?
Yeah, as a kid we would go tent camping at least once a summer.
Yeah.
And then one year we had a really bad camping experience. We were at like this new place we hadn't been to before. Yeah. The bugs were crazy. Like they were like exterminating every night. So there was like a period where you had to like go in your tent or like leave the area because they were like exterminating for all the bugs that were happening. It was horrible. We're basically like in a parking lot. It didn't feel campy at all. So that ruined it for us. Yeah. And we didn't really go anymore after that. But then as an adult, I've been probably 3 or 4 times with friends, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Well, this is the thing. There was elements that I absolutely loved. Like just, so our friends, we went with our friends Shannon and Peter, and then they had another couple that came as well. And Shannon and Peter have like an RV. So it's like, they've got all the kitchen stuff. They've got a bathroom. They've got a shower. They've got, multiple sinks. They had like a Blackstone grill. So like we would just go to their campsite and we would cook and hang out by the campfire. And like, to me, that's the best. Like sitting around a campfire. Our kids had their bikes and scooters, and they would ride all over the campsite. There's a little skate park nearby. There's an indoor pool. Nice. So it's like it had nice amenities. And then we would ride across the street from the beach. Cool. So then we go to the beach as well. So the weekend itself was awesome. I just realized for me, like I have no desire to go get a tent and sleeping bags and do it again. I have a desire to go back to Pacific City, and I would stay in a cabin that had a toilet or a hotel, that was my
You do know that conclusion. You do know that's not camping, right?
What?
Staying in a cabin is not camping.
I feel like that was camping.
Okay, I guess if there's not a bathroom.
Yeah. Like that for me.
I guess we need to define camping, because if you think about like a summer camp is usually cabins. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it could be camping. Glamping.
Yeah.
You're not a tent camper.
I will not be a tent camper.
Were you ever?
Yeah, so that's the thing. So similarly, I grew up as a kid going every summer. I grew up in California, so we would go to Yosemite every year. And then like I remember going on other camping trips. The challenge was my mom had really bad asthma, so a lot of times the smoke from the fires would start to irritate her. So eventually we just kind of stopped doing that. But yeah, so and I feel a little bit like as a parent, I'm doing a disservice to my kids for not camping more or going out on things. I send them to summer camps. Like they've done that. I've actually sent them with friends to go camping. Like camping.
That's perfect.
I feel like
checks the box.
Yeah, and we take them other places. It's
not like we
like
they're
keep them
fine.
locked up.
They'll be fine.
We offer life stuff to them. So, anyways, that was and the other thing we did is as the first time traveling with our electric vehicle. Okay. So that was a little bit of an adventure to figure out the whole charging.
Did you have to stop somewhere to charge it?
We did. So I think we probably would have been okay. Well, I don't know actually. We went out of our way to get one place charged on the way down. Okay. And it didn't charge our car very much at all. But we did get In-N-Out Burger. So it was like, it was a you win some.
That sounds so good right now. Oh my
gosh. That's why I was like Radners.
Oh.
So then we at the cabin at the site, we hooked up to just a regular outlet and we just did a trickle charge, and it got a little bit over the 72 hours that we were parked there. And then on the way home, we found a supercharger at Walmart, and it literally charged our car all the way in like 20 minutes.
A Tesla supercharger?
No, just a supercharger place. It literally in a Walmart.
Was it charge point? Or just I
have no idea. But it just went fast. It was like the other one we went to was the similar trickle charge that took forever. So I'm like, that's
you got to look at like the volts per or whatever the measure is.
Yeah.
It's Chad's domain.
Yeah. One thing that did happen this weekend, Chad started his master's program.
Yeah, saw that.
So that was exciting. I was like, it was funny. I was listening a little bit and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just caught this tail end of a conversation about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And these people speaking to it and like what they do to like fight against it. And so
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be in this class. I was like sitting there listening and just thought it was like, it's such a cool.
So what is imposter syndrome exactly?
So I think it's just when you're in an environment and you think that everybody else is maybe you, okay, two ways. You as an individual feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't be here. Somebody else could do this so much better than me.
Okay.
And then you assume maybe other people are thinking the same way.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Chad said, I didn't see it, but he said the one gal had like a chart on like what you think you know, what you think everybody else knows, and then what you actually know and what everybody else actually knows. One thing I liked that I heard, this gal said, when she's done something well and she's feeling confident in herself, she makes a note of it and she puts it somewhere that she can see.
Oh, cool.
Like, you're doing a great job or you did an awesome job at this.
Yeah.
So that she has proof in her own writing, in her own voice, that she did something really well.
That's awesome.
And that, I was like, oh, I kind of love that. So that was another thing that happened this weekend. But that's kind of it. How was your Labor Day 2 weekends ago?
Great. Another like action-packed weekend.
Yeah,
so
you were like
two weddings.
Central.
Yeah. So Friday we had a wedding in Issaquah at Trinity Tree Farm, which is a beautiful venue. That was for David and Cap.
Okay.
Which was very fun. It was
Cap.
Caprianne is her name.
Okay.
But she goes by Cap.
Okay. I was like, I've never heard that.
Yeah, KAP.
Okay.
They're very, so I don't know if you've seen the dog Nellie that we hang out with.
No.
It's basically Stevie's best friends would be Stella.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
And then Nellie. Nellie's in that top like 3 or 4 dogs that she hangs out with.
Were they at your Christmas party?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know if you would have met them at any point, but anyway, they're super cool.
Yeah.
Wedding was beautiful.
Fun.
David is in my fraternity, so a lot of the people were there were like friends from college and stuff. So very fun. Saturday we had a birthday party in the morning for Brian's niece, his 1-year-old niece.
Cute.
That was great. It was at a little park in Kirkland.
Okay.
That later that day, so we drove from Kirkland to South Lake Union waterfront.
Where was the wedding Friday?
Issaquah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything was local, but like a lot of driving around that weekend.
Right.
So drove to South Lake Union, and my friends were renting a boat, so we rented a big pontoon boat.
Oh my gosh.
To go sailgating. So have you heard of sailgating?
Tailgating. I want to.
Tailgating on a boat.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I was like, I feel like I could put it together and figure it out.
I've always wanted to go. And it was the first time. So we basically had a pontoon boat for like probably 15 of us or so.
Yeah.
And went all the way like from South Lake Union to where Husky Stadium is, and there's just a bunch of boats all around.
Okay, because when we've gone to games there, I see people out in the water like that, and I'm like, that looks like a great place to be.
Yeah, it was very fun.
That's awesome.
So that was Saturday.
Okay.
And then Sunday we had another wedding for Eli and Tiff. That one was in Bonnie Lake.
Okay.
Another beautiful wedding, very fun. That was more like Brian's college friend group.
Okay.
So we got to see a lot of people we don't get to see very often, which is cool. That was Sunday.
Okay.
And then Monday, what else happened? I think Monday was kind of a recoup day. Yeah. And then we had a birthday party in Linwood for Brian's grandma.
Just a party weekend.
It was back to back to back to back. Yeah, it was a lot. Very fun. A lot of good.
From 1-year-old to grandma.
Yes.
That's
true.
Special.
From 1 to 96.
96?
A 95-year range.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, great weekend. A lot of good like family and friend time, and got to soak up the last little bit of summer.
I know.
The bookends of summer.
The bookends. I love that.
Let me see. Look at my notes real quick. I think that was about it. But it's been a very busy, very just fun-filled last couple weeks.
Yeah. I know. It feels like a whirlwind. My kids have been back in school for 2 weeks, and so to be back in this like mindset, I think my head was still in summer mode for the longest time, and then even planning this trip, that was kind of a last minute thing to Pacific City, but even that it still felt like summery, and now like today I'm like, oh, it feels like fall.
Feels a little gloomy.
It feels like we're like in
Usually we have some good weather in September and October.
100%. And I actually, so that whole concept of the lady making a note of like, you did really well at this today.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do that for the weather in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Like in October, be like, today was really warm.
Nice.
In May, April, when we get those like fall summers, I mean, today was really warm.
Yeah.
Just remind myself.
Do you journal at all?
No, not really.
Okay.
I used to be better.
I have I journal. I kind of journal in the morning. It's just like kind of a quick like 2-minute thing. Just like mostly like a gratitude journal type thing.
Yeah.
And then on Fridays I do more of like a weekly reflections type thing.
Yeah.
So like what went well this last week? What areas could I improve upon? That kind of stuff. And then that's all in one note. So sometimes I'll go back and read like the little journal entries from over the last couple months. And it is fun to see, like, if you're feeling discouraged in any one day or one moment, it's like, it's fun to see, like, look at all the good stuff that has happened.
Yeah. I know. I kind of want to start again. I mean, I used to, I feel like when I was younger, Chad has a thing where like part of his morning routine, he journals and he has like different themes for each day. Yeah. Like one's gratitude, one's like dreams for the future. Oh, cool. One's like, I don't know, current goals.
Like the categories. I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a neat thing. But all right.
All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Well, that was fun. Good luck in the rest of your day. I feel like
I know listing photos coming up. Oh, this was a short one, 36 minutes.
You guys, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.